Hello everybody and welcome to BASHBOTS 2019. I'm your host, Dominus Ignis, and after months of preparation, the bots and the builders are all ready for one of the most intense tournaments you will ever see. From 9 different countries across the globe, 24 Roboteers have converged here for the BASHBOTS World Championship. They're all competing for this beautiful trophy and hope to etch their name in Garry's Wars history. They will be fighting inside this massive arena filled to the brim with deadly hazards, including the rails, the spikes, the kill saws, and the floor flippers. Here's how the tournament works. Our 24 robots will be divided into 12 one-on-one matchups in the qualifying round. The 12 winners will advance straight on to the round of 16. The 12 losing robots will have to fight again in the wildcard rumbles, where they will be divided up into 4 freeway rumbles. The winners of these rumbles will rejoin the qualifying round victors, and then it will be a straight single elimination tournament to the end. Each battle will be a single 3-minute fight. The goal is to render your opponent immobile by destroying them to pieces, by getting them trapped, or by flipping them out of the arena. If a battle goes the distance to 3 minutes, it will go to our judges to decide the winner. They will be scoring the fight based off of damage, control, and aggression. Now that we are just ready for our first battle, let's send it down to the damn Beaver to break down the matchup between Firewave and Mygronic.
With the heaviest weapon in the competition and bags of experience to boot, Firewave is one of the most feared robots out there, with that 30kg bar lending itself to a petrifying 90 weapons. By all accounts it looks unstoppable, unless it meets a flipper, and what do you know, that's exactly what it's drawn. While it can self-right, Firewave has an interesting weakness in that it can only self-right twice, so if Mygronic can get him fast and just weather the storm fast enough to flip it just 3 times, victory is within grasp. It's a matter of driving and endurance, and we can't wait to see how it goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from France, it's Firewave! In the blue square, from the Netherlands, it's Mygronic!
So our strategy for this fight is going to be pretty simple. Just spin up and get up to speed. Try to avoid the flipper if we can, because even though Firewave has got us off right, it's not like super fast or reliable. So if we can avoid getting flipped, it would be nice. But otherwise, just get up to speed, hit them, and wait till they die, pretty much.
So for this fight, I want to keep that bar stopped on Firewave, because that thing is pretty deadly. It has kind of got a pedigree for being pretty good, but I hope I can defeat the fiery legend and just extinguish that flame for once and for all.
Here we go then, first fight of the series. Firewave and Mygronic involved, and it's an early flip there from Mygronic. Could be worrying.
Yeah, no hesitance at all from Firewave either. Most spinners would just sit back and try to charge up their blades, but instead he's going straight in there for an impact which didn't really work in his favour, but that one did!
Shard flying!
Off into the air like
and
a
then
helicopter.
Firewave flying as well. Well, both machines involved heavily in these early stages, really going at each other here. In at close quarters, missed flip there. You can tell they're both aggressive, but are they controlled? Wow!
Oh, and the front wedge comes flying off the front of Mygronic. He's lost his eyes, I can't see!
Well, he can't see. I don't think he wants to. He won't see himself flying.
How did I get there?
And is he
Someone
okay?
Give me directions! Oh, I think I drove into the spinner! And somehow the wedge taking even more punishment.
Well, if he had a migraine before this, he'll have a bit of a splitting headache now!
And they're splitting away from the whole robot goes the flipper! And also not to note, the wheel is gone from Micronic. So even if it comes down from this peculiar situation on top of the grinder, I don't think it could move outside of its own circumference anyway. We may have to start carrying it down! We can get Firewave to sit down and stop ruining our arena!
Well, Micronic, are you being cancelled? You are! Thank goodness for that. Firewave devastating in victory.
Put an end to this damage. Just leave our arena alone, sirs. Well, we can only relive the tale of how Micronic ceased to be. They got a nice little flip, but from the first impact of Firewave, damage was already being done, and every follow-up hit was causing more and more damage. Even the floor flipper weighing in to throw Micronic basically into the ceiling, until after enough hits, there was basically nothing left.
And with an absolutely dominant performance, Firewave moves on to the round of 16, while Micronic will have to fight again in the wildcard rumbles. It's time for our next battle between Stardust Crusader and Dataflow.
At first glance, this matchup seems totally bizarre. On one hand, you have Stardust Crusader, a builder who wants to claim their prize and walk home as the ultimate life form, and their opponent, Bound by Bloods, is Dataflow. Being a heavily armored Axis seems like the perfect opponent for a horizontal spinner like the Crusader, especially when it's known for being unstable, but they're approaching it anyway. It'll be a gold experience when they clash, and by the end, only one will be on the highway to hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the United Kingdom, it's Stardust Crusader! Is that a motherfucking JoJo reference? In the blue square, from the UK, it's Dataflow!
Strategy's pretty simple. Go in there, hit him with the blade spinning, try and get the wheels, try and stay away from the hammer, but I'm not really that worried about the damage it could do.
Right, strategy is basically ram him, try and keep his disc from spinning, and then bringing down the hammer on him, hopefully inflicting damage, but could be a tough one.
And away we go, and Dataflow will be hoping that hammer has plenty of power, while the wedge has plenty of resistance to the first hit from Stardust Crusader, and then the second one too. Good positive start from Dataflow there.
Apart from when it drives over the kill source.
Whoa!
Oh, they're going to drive over the kill source as well! And Stardust Crusader overturned by the arena hazard, but delivers a good hit there, but bouncing off the arena floor regardless.
It's easy to say that Stardust Crusader isn't the most stable on our arena floor, but it's starting to calm down a bit now. Whoa! That was a swing and a miss from Dataflow, and that could have damaged it. Back they come again.
Too soon with the calming down, especially as it rockets across the sky, living up to its name of Stardust Crusader. You can see the comet on there, and it's doing just as much flying as you might expect.
Certainly is, and it seems to have these random flying spells again! And now up onto the screws, and is it going to stay on the screws? Dataflow closing in, and a big hammer blow there too. This is an incredible fight so far. Big hammer blow again!
As they push it further and further onto the rotating drums of the arena, but that's a big miss from Dataflow, which should allow Stardust Crusader to hopefully get its asymmetrical bar spinner up to some more lethal speeds, because we haven't seen a great deal of damage so far from either robot, but the impacts have been massive.
It certainly has. Dataflow now. That's a good hit with the hammer. I was about to say it's swinging and missing rather wildly. And you know what else is wild? Stardust Crusader, of course! Oh, where has the Battlebot gone? That is incredible!
Cartwheeling itself over, nearly landing out of the arena. But on the arena wall now is Stardust Crusader. How are they going to get down from there?
It does come down. Dataflow was actually spinning in a victory delight there, but it's not quite over yet. And both of these machines are just showing how durable they are in the process as well, because they're still both intact, they're still going, and they're still going head to head with each other in every single impact. It's really incredible stuff. And now, a piggyback ride.
Just need to see Stardust Crusader regain a bit of stability here. That wedge on Dataflow, perfect for disrupting the momentum of that spinner, consistently unbalancing it. But there have been some good spinner hits from it as well, I don't want to discredit.
No, it's been a very, very interesting fight. Explosive and now a bit more of a controlled spell, and Stardust Crusader with another good jab there. And then it swings up and the hammer goes as well. And now in behind with the hammer. That was a good hit to the top of Stardust Crusader. And another one in there as well. Both machines have had their spells, but that is that. What a fight!
And I wouldn't want to be a judge in these shoes. But luckily we've got the professionals on the job. For now, let's just review that opening impact as Dataflow comes in and chucks Stardust Crusader into the skies with the help of the kill swords as well. The hammer coming down but getting punished for its troubles. But Stardust Crusader, they just could not maintain their stability. And maybe that will be key as we go into the judge's decision. Who's won this one?
The judges' results are in. The winner by split decision is Dataflow!
With an extremely close battle, Dataflow moves on to the round of 16, while Stardust Crusader will have to fight again. It's time for a third fight of the night between GT1 and Zancha.
On paper, this matchup is incredibly close, with each stat being so similar that they're practically interchangeable. But the fight does become much more clearer once you take a closer look. While Zancha struggles with gyroscopic forces making driving much more difficult, that weapon is a total monster. Can the experienced and the powerful GT1 hope to stand up? Well, why don't we take a look?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the UK, it's GT1! In the blue square, from the USA, it's Zancha!
This fight, I'm going to try and use its crazy fast movement to get around him and hit something that's going to do some damage. I don't want to take that disc head on because he could hit the supports.
So the strategy for the fight against GT1 is basically cause as much havoc as possible and see what happens. Because there's two deadly spinners, you know, and we're here to have a good time. If I'm not being entertaining, I'm not doing my job.
Robots activate.
GT1 looking for that fast start here against Zancha.
Oh, and succeeding with a big spinner impact. But Zancha up and
Knocked
over.
over.
GT1 controlling with that big wedge design, and Zancha thrown by the floor flipper across the arena and into the other floor flipper. And the front spinner of GT1 calling him more than floor flipper.
Oh, come back down.
Throws it into the
Come back
ceiling.
down, Zancha, please! Oh! That's an interesting way to use your spinner, Zancha, and it's somehow got you back into the fight and then back over again. What an interesting start here, and it certainly has been frightening fast car speeds as a overturned spinner now decides to turn into an interesting translation of movement.
Does that count? GT1
it's moving faster. It's moving into danger. It's avoided danger. But there is a count out starting, so your suspicions were correct. It needs to get back over. I don't think it can. KO. Oh my goodness me. That was exhilarating from GT1. What a performance. What a machine.
And here we see the initial contact of the two spinners, and from that moment on it was clear to see GT1 had the design advantage for this one, especially with that broad wedge design. Zancha just couldn't get a moment to breathe. Clearly hasn't got his driver's license yet as it gets sped around, and it couldn't get back over.
And with another dominant performance tonight, GT1 moves on to the round of 16. Zancha will need to figure out their self-righting issues as they will have to fight again in the Wildcard Rumble. It's time for our final fight of the night, where we will see Tenderlove fight Amethyst.
A weapon style over 85 is one that you should be wary of. A weapon style over 90 is one to be feared. And then there's Amethyst, a robot with a terrifying undercutting disc that lends itself to a weapon style of 92. You would need to have nerves of steel to face down this without fear, and Tenderlove might just be the perfect robot for that. Built to counter horizontal spinners just like Amethyst, we all doubt this will be scoring KOs in seconds, but what it lacks in raw power, it makes up for in everything else. However, should we notice that Amethyst can run both ways up, meaning that Tenderlove will have to drive this fight perfectly if they have any hopes of getting out of this unscathed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the United Kingdom, it's Tenderlove! In the blue square, from the United Kingdom, it's Amethyst!
What I hope to do is, he's not always low. His spinner isn't always to the ground, so I hope to capitalise on that. I hope during the fight to make sure he has his spinner over the top, so it doesn't get to undercut me quite so effectively. Optimally, I'd love to lift him out the arena. The robot's quite flat, might fit down the sides. It's just be as controlling as a control bot like mine can be, basically.
Amethyst is going to need a heart of stone here if it's going to ignore that lure of Tenderlove, and both machines just flirting with each other here at the start. Oh dear! Wow, that's destructive! And there goes the front blade of Tenderlove. Nothing tender about that impact.
But managing to get Amethyst up and over in the process, this is clearly one for Tenderlove to take from now on, surely. As they just try to eat
nice
the
hug.
frog.
A nice hug. What an interesting method of spinning that was there from Amethyst as well. And both machines have had their moments already. So both looking now to get the next attack in. It's a little slide under from Tenderlove, but only part of it. And it got caught, and now it's being churned, and it's on top, and Amethyst has gone flying. Goodness. Can somebody calm down,
The
please?
curious thing about Amethyst's design is that spinner doesn't seem to have any sharpened blades on it. The whole thing just seems curved to me. and they're going to need a bit more of an impact if they want to cause more meaningful damage to Tenderlove like they did in the start. Instead, just flying all over the shop.
Had a period now, not much happening, but that's
from
different.
that one.
Goodness. Well, I don't know about you, but Tenderlove is being bashed about here all of a sudden. Amethyst certainly going airborne here and there, but oh, okay, it's going airborne again. I was going to give it the benefit of the doubt there. It looks stable overall, but that is another exchange where both machines are ticking. The damage so far has been to Tenderlove with that front blade coming off of the grate. But it's safe to say that Tenderlove is still trundling along and looking for another clamp down, which it had in the opening period at one point.
Something they deserve credit for here as well is that they're currently driving upside down.
Oh!
And it seems perfectly capable of self-righting, but they're just choosing to drive this way. And I, for a moment, thought they might have secured a knockout in that form, but Amethyst makes it back down to continue this gem of a fight as the impacts continue. Tenderlove finally the right way up again, but they didn't seem overly affected by being upside down in the first place.
It's certainly a versatile machine. It's had its damage inflicted in this fight, but it's still going. Now it's just hanging out that grate backwards and switching up its tactics again. And could this be a surprise where Amethyst starts to crack, I wonder?
You have to think that Tenderlove is winning on control at this point. Only Amethyst can really cause any damage unless Tenderlove's eating attack from before is going to count. But the judges are going to have to count up their points and deliver the winner to us in a very close battle once again. Here we saw that opening impact, the big damage caused by Amethyst's bar spinner. Tenderlove with the most memorable attack, as it were, trying to have some dinner. But then we had a very tactical affair as the two kept rebounding off each other into the skies. A couple of lifts, a couple of spinner impacts. Ultimately, it comes down to what the judges value more.
The judges' results are in. The winner by unanimous decision is Tenderlove!
And so, the first part of the qualifying round comes to an end. We've seen Firewave, Dataflow, GT1 and Tenderlove move on to the round of 16, but their competitors put up extremely good fights, and we will see them again soon in the wildcard rumbles. From all of us here at BASHBOTS, we thank you so much for watching and we hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you all soon when the qualifying round continues, but until then, good night.